What's going on, guys? I'm back with another video. In this video, I know you guys are sending me tons of emails, tons of comments about the SAT and how to get a high score and how to get this, how to do that, and you're really overwhelming me. So I had to bring on another great SAT scorer who also got an 800 math and a 1470 overall, which is basically top 99% score. And the thing is, he didn't start off with such a high score. He came from a 900, which is basically under 1,000. I think 900 maybe like 30th percentile, maybe 20th percentile, and he brought it all the way up to the 99th percentile. So how did he do this? Well, let's go to Trent right now.
Alright, hey guys, my name is Tren. When I first took the PSAT, I got a 990. Not a 900, but thanks. But still, yeah, I scored below 1,000. But in about 4 months of total studying, I was able to bring that score up to a 1470 with a 800 on the math. Although my score is not amazing, I do have a lot of tips to bring up a really low score that I think could help you guys out a lot.
All right, Trent, so let's start off with your best tip and your number one tip. What do you want to say to the people?
The first thing is start studying early. Now, if you're watching this video and your SATs tomorrow, I guess it's too late for that. At the bare minimum, you should give yourself a couple months to study, but preferably at least a year. The second tip, and this is really important, you have to realize that the SAT is not an IQ test. It's not testing how smart you are. It's testing how well you can take the SAT. You could be a complete idiot and still score well on the SAT if you just learn the tactics of the SAT. Third tip is to create a study plan. Ask yourself, how much time do you have, and then create a structured, well thought out study plan accordingly, and then follow through with it. This is a lot more efficient than just mindlessly or randomly studying.
Now, I've made a couple of videos on how to create a nice study plan for the SAT, so make sure you guys check that out. But Trent, what exactly was your study plan for the SAT? Like, how many hours of studying would you put in, like, per week?
Honestly, I didn't put in that much. I don't know the exact hours, but here's what I did. I knew I had 2 months to bring up my math score. So I gave myself about 9 weeks. The first 2 weeks, I went through the College Panda Math SAT guide and just really learned every topic in that book. I took notes. I just went all the way through it. And then every week after that, I just spammed math practice tests in a very well-structured way. If you want to figure out exactly what that structure was, check out the video on my channel about how to get a perfect 800 on the math SAT.
And one thing you mentioned was that you used the College Math Panda book. And that's actually in my description right now because I also strongly emphasize that book. That book helps a lot. A lot of my students that I've tutored, they all have that book with them when they're at my tutoring session. And I honestly recommend that book to you guys. So be sure to check it out and be sure to get it if you are struggling at math.
And this ties into the next tip. Don't use stupid resources. Princeton Review, that's a stupid resource. Barron's, Kaplan, don't use them. It's a waste of time. If you do want good books, check the one in RV Business's description. Those books will help you much more than Princeton Review and Barron will.
Yeah, I agree with that, guys. There's tons of resources, and they're basically just companies trying to trick students who want to get a high SAT score into buying their product, and they really have no visible effect on the student's SAT score. It's all like a placebo effect, really.
And the last tip I have is to focus on your math score. I would say for most people, bringing up your math score is easier than bringing up your reading score. Bringing up your reading score has to do with bringing up your reading comprehension ability. That could take a very long time, but bringing out your math score, that's just repetition. That's just learning the specific tactics in the book. Me personally, I brought up my math score from, I believe, 480 to 800 in about 2 months. But my reading score took also 2 months, but didn't have nearly as drastic of an increase. So if you're not scoring at least 750 in the math, you gotta hammer out your math and focus on that first.
Hey, there's a reason that we have 800s in math and not English, right? The math section is much more doable in my opinion as well. So I strongly side with Trent in that. So make sure you guys have your math down and then transition to English. Now, if you are an 800 score in English, good for you, but that's not us, and I don't think that's most students out there. So be sure to hammer down on that math. All right, guys, you guys want to use people who've done it before. Don't look at these resources. I'd rather trust someone who's got an 800 or 2 individuals who got an 800.
So having a good SAT score is important, but what's more important is what you can do with it, right? If you want to learn how you can use your SAT score to get a full ride to college, then me and RV actually just made a video on that on my channel. So make sure to go and check that out. But if you just want to focus on increasing your SAT score, I have a video on how to bring your score up to 800 in math as well.
So make sure you guys check Trent's channel, link in the description. Be sure to watch all the videos on my channel, and let's get the SAT score up, guys. Peace.
Peace.